When performing form handling in PHP, the superglobals get and post are used to collect the form data. Let's look at an example using a simple form. So let me create my form. And let me have a name field, which will be an input. And the type will be equal to text. And the name will be equal to name. So this name attribute is what we will use in our PHP script to identify this input field. Let's add a break. And let's do an email field also. The type will also be equal to text. And the name will be equal to email. Let's ensure we close our input tag. And finally, let's have a submit button. So this input type will be of type button. Actually, we'll make it of type submit. And there we have our simple form. Now we will create a PHP file to handle the submission of these form fields. First, we'll need to add a few attributes to the form. And let us give it a form action. And this essentially tells the form where to submit the data. So let us submit it to form handler.php, which we will create here in a second. And the method, let's make the method post. So essentially we will be posting our name and email data to a file called formhandler.php. Let's go ahead and create it now. And inside this form, we're simply going to echo. Let me first include my HTML. Right, so within the body of our HTML document, let us simply do a welcome message. So let's put this in a paragraph. Let's say welcome. And now let's open up our PHP tag. And we can say echo. And now we will use our super global variable post to grab that post data, and this data comes back in the form of an array. So we can either use our single or double quotations here, and we want to get our name field input. And let us also print the email address. And another way to do, if you're only going to be echoing out a statement within your PHP tags, a shorthand method is to use the equal sign. So we want to echo the email address as well. And let us close it out. So now let us save both of these files and load our form handler, or our form handling file, which is our HTML form. And let us now enter let's do mariah@outlook.com. And when we submit this form, it basically carries us straight to our form handler, and we get "Welcome Mariah. Your email address is the email address that was entered." Now, we could also achieve the same thing if we were to use the get instead of the post. So if we save this and go back to our form, let's refresh our form. Let's say Alex AK 47 at Yahoo. So let's submit that. Okay, so now it's saying undefined array key name. And the reason for this is that our form method is post. So if we want to use get, we would change that form method to get. And now let's go back. Let's do Alex. Submit. And now we get our post or our get information. But you'll notice that up here in the URL, we are seeing the values for name, and we're also seeing the values for email. Previously, when we were using the post method, let us undo. So when we used the post method and now we submit, and did we change? No, we have to refresh. So let's do Alex. And now when we submit using post, you can see now that those values are not shown in the URL. So that's the main difference between get and post. It's recommended that as a developer, programmer, that you use post for sending your form data. We use get in certain instances. For instance, if you're trying to get an ID of a certain record, then possibly you could use get in that instance. However, otherwise, it is recommended that you use the post method.